For this video, I want to talk about a very interesting idea for all the EDM artists and DJs out there, and that is, should you enter remix contests? Now, the answer is usually yes. For example, right now, in the past few weeks, given just the way things are going on, I think I'm going to be entering maybe 4, maybe 5 different remix contests, which is a lot. Obviously, I've been producing nonstop. This is on top of releasing singles. I'm working on another EP as well, so I've been crazy busy. But anyway, I want to talk about this on this video because I think this is a very interesting and important thing to kind of bring up. As remember, and a lot of artists kind of don't realize this, when it comes to remix contests, and I don't mean this in a harsh way, they're not really meant for you. They're meant for the artist. It's a promotional tactic. If you think about it, if you do, a remix contest for your new track, and let's say you get 100, 500, 1,000 plus, entries, those are tons of people promoting the fact that they're remixing your track. They're distributing it probably on their SoundCloud, Facebook, not Spotify, but Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, all these different platforms. So it's really a great marketing tool and marketing technique for a lot of bigger artists, and a lot of emerging artists as well. So that's a big thing I want to say first off the bat. Now, when it comes down to it, should you enter it? Here's my honest opinion when it comes down to it. One is it never hurts, especially because if you think about it, there's a huge difference between a remix and a bootleg. And not going to the extreme details, essentially a remix, you have the stems. A bootleg, you don't. So obviously, the production quality on a remix is always going to be better when you have the stems than when it's just a bootleg. This is just inevitable. So one, you're able to produce a really high quality remix. And number two, you have the possibility to potentially win the contest. And sometimes they have like label releases, money, equipment, subscription services to different platforms, etc. And then lastly, number three, it's good marketing for you, because a lot of times, and this happens all the time, especially for me when I enter remix contests, a lot of times people would be like, hey, I'm curious to see what the other entries sound like, or I'm curious to see what other people, kind of did in terms of their spin on this original track or whatever. And a lot of times, you'll get a lot of traffic from people wanting to hear the other remixes that were also entered into the same contest. So when it comes to marketing all around, it is a good strategy. However, the one thing that I do want to say about for remix contests, remember that even though, yeah, it would be great to win it and everything, my big thing is I always suggest only truly enter it if you do like the song and if you would remix it on your own. What I mean is that I feel like for me, this is a big piece of advice that I got when I first started, getting into remix contests and getting to the point where I felt like my production was good enough where I wanted to enter into contests. One of my best friends said to me, like, hey man, just remember though that when it comes down to it, only really remix a song as if you could not enter it into a contest. For example, for me, there's been a lot of times where remix songs past the deadline date of the remix contest just because I love the track and I have the stems and I just wanted to do an interesting take on it, and so that's a big thing I suggest, because I feel like a lot of times if you're just entering the remix contest just to enter the contest and just pump out a track, I find sometimes, especially when I've seen this, a lot of times the track quality might not come out as good. Now, maybe this may not be true. Maybe you're the type of producer that can produce something even if you're not really into it. But for me, if I listen to a song, let's say it's a great remix contest, and let's say, it's the prizes are ridiculous and the opportunities are insane, for me, if I'm not really into the original track, I won't remix it because I feel like I won't do as good of a job as if I'm really into the song. And I feel like I'm just entering a remix contest just to say, hey, I'm entering this contest, right? So being I always just look, if you're going to enter a remix contest, and also there's so many benefits to it, don't get me wrong, really only do so if you're really going to be into that track, because I feel like that's where the production comes out. And I've talked about this before in other videos. Remember, it's always quality over quantity 100% of the time when it comes to production. And if you look at artists, and you could look at this in so many different cases, a lot of time artists will release a couple tracks a year, but they're so good that trumps anything. I mean, look at Martin Garrix with Animals. Obviously, he's a great producer. I guarantee, and I've seen this, he produced so many tracks before that, but only released a couple here and there that he thought were really good. Obviously, Animals is a big hit. Avicii with Levels, we can name artists all day that have this kind of same situation. So remember, it's always quality over quantity, especially when it comes to remix contests. This could not be more true, because I see sometimes a lot of artists get more obsessed with the opportunities of winning it in terms of the prizes, rather than just making good remix itself. And obviously those are connected, because obviously a good remix is going to, give you the first place prize. But remember though that you want to look at giving a very unique and awesome and original spin to a track, as opposed to just trying to win all these awesome prizes. obviously that would be great. Obviously, if you made a good remix and won the prizes, but sure, we do this video to say that. But overall, I just kind of want to do this really brief kind of take on remix contests. Obviously, I think every artist should be entering them. But like I said, I do think that it's way better to really focus on tracks, and if anything, more importantly, really just focus on making good quality remixes for songs that you're into, rather than being like, oh, I could potentially get released on Armada or Dimmock or Matt Decent or, you know, Mousetrap, or basically any of these other labels that give remix contests, that give away prizes as well, and all this kind of stuff.